So welcome to the video. We've got two instructors today, me Richard,
And me, Rebecca.
and we're going to be going through this test route here. Well, one of the test routes, one of the test areas here, and we've slightly shortened it down to about 20 minutes because, as you can see, we're speeding up the film on the kind of boring bits. So every test is going to come out of this test centre.
Need to be very careful coming in and out around this bend here because, as you can see, there's lots of parked vehicles and you're sharing it with a lot of lorries most of the time.
You are,
as well.
and anything of an Arctic trailer will come across your side of the road.
Yes.
Little roundabout here, no, either generally going straight ahead or turning right. Today we're going ahead and we're going to be going up to the A14. First roundabout come to is this roundabout.
Now, make sure you're taking your time when you're approaching this roundabout. You're going to be within the first minute or so of your test, and it's a very busy roundabout, and you need to be making sure you're taking your time, observing, don't rush in.
And take this roundabout from the left-hand side. You're either going into town, which is the first exit you've just seen. Sometimes you go in there, the second exit, to go into the pub to do a front bay part, or you're going third. You ain't taking your examiner to Nando's on the right or Tesco's, always the left-hand side. Now we're going up here, just slightly speeding up the film because we're just going up here. We're going to be following the road ahead. Sometimes you will turn left to go a little loop around the hotel, but we'll talk about that on a different test route. We're going up to the A14. This is junction 9. And we're going to be taking the fifth exit right.
Now, sometimes I found the examiner does give you a pre-warning on that to come across to the right.
You can do,
and
yeah.
plan ahead.
Now, fifth exit right, we'll just put up a graphic up on the screen here so you can see it. We're coming from the 6 o'clock position. We're going all the way around the roundabout. So that's the first exit. That's the second exit to the A14 to Huntington. We're on the left-hand side. You'd also take the left-hand side with the third exit coming up. Don't count the slip road as an exit, of course. Right, Eddie Stowbar's going, that's to Wellingborough. You could be going fourth exit right to Pikechie from the right-hand side and coming across. And what we're doing here is being really careful of the observations, looking, coming across here. Now, we've got a choice of 2 lanes, haven't we, Rebecca, here?
Yes, so I would generally say to keep on the left. The right-hand slip road that merges is quite short, and you've got a lot of lorries that at that point are in lane 1, so it can be quite difficult to merge. So I would choose the own lane slip road, but of course just making sure if there are any lorries in lane 1, once it becomes...
That's the current lane 1, isn't it? There,
yeah.
So
yeah.
where the van is now.
Where the van is now, yeah. So now any lorries beside you would be looking to come across, and make sure you're not sitting in any blind spots.
And you mustn't undertake there.
And
You've got
don't
to hold back and go.
yes.
If you want to make progress. Now, the examiner would have said, we're not going far, or we're going to do quite a lot of progress. We're actually going down to junction 7. So the examiner would have said, we're staying on this road for quite a while. It's his way of implying, get a move on. Now, as long as you're getting up to speed and keeping up with the traffic, you're fine. You don't need to overtake anything.
No. If you're up to speed, that is your progress, isn't it?
Yeah, you're keeping up with traffic. It's quite congested here. We're back to normal speed now. We're coming into junction 7. Awareness on the left of the slip road. Yes, they give way to us, but if you can help cars, yes, you're expected to do that.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, this is still a dual carriageway, so you can't undertake this lorry if that car was in the way. However, right about now...
So you see that the studs turn shorter. The lines turn shorter and the studs are green. So you are able to undertake if it's safe to do so.
Because technically, it's the A43. It's a different road. So, but still, it's only a bit of paint. It doesn't protect you, so just be very cautious if you are passing on that left-hand side. Now, we're coming up here. So this is junction 7. You'll either be taking the third exit to the A43 or the fifth exit right towards the hospital or towards Kettering. Now, it goes into 2 lanes here. Now, effectively, what's going to happen here, these 2 lanes are almost like a dual carriageway that go around the roundabout to take the third exit. It will be said third exit right, but if you are taking the third exit, it's kind of straight on. I wouldn't be indicating necessarily unless it's really benefiting people. However, we are taking the fifth exit right. You will be helped here because the planning board is so late.
Yes.
It's really badly planned. So here we go. Look, see the Kettering signs, and you see the 2 lanes effectively. Imagine that like a dual carriageway called the A43. We've spurred off to the right-hand side, and because it's painted, we're going to stay in the lane. Now, we just fast-forwarded there because we sat on the red there for a bit of a while. And we're going to follow this white car through. Now, you've got a choice of 2 exits coming off here. It's a little bit tricky, but perhaps you can explain, Bex.
Yeah, so once we come around and we're coming past the next set of lights. This lane will split into two. Now you can be in either lane to take exit 5, but it's much better if you can start positioning yourself over to the left, as we do here. Coming into the left lane, you will pass exit 4, and then for exit 5, you're already on the left with that right-hand traffic merging in, which I find is much safer than if you were on the right and having to merge.
And just a note there, we would have cancelled our right signal just as we turned in by the island there, because it's no longer benefiting. You're not coming across there, but you'd have a left signal to come off after the island.
After 4.
Go number 5. So we're following it down, and you can see cars merging from the right. See, today we have put the rear camera on there. It's a lot easier there. Now we're turning left in here. This is one of the places where a manoeuvre might be asked, which is the forward bay park here. So I'm just going to forward it through, because this was taken from a mock test. Very well done. So one of the places you could do, front bay park, hopefully.
So that could have been forward or reverse.
It could have been, couldn't it? Could have technically been forward or reverse, but generally we find the reverse bay park is back at the test centre at the end, isn't it, normally? But there's no reason why not. So back onto the road, back onto Warren Hill. Sometimes you're asked to come and turn right from there. That is really tricky.
Oh gosh, yeah, that would be
it's very
tricky.
busy from there. If you're coming up to junction 7 from Geddington direction, you're asked to go in and go back down the junction 7 there. We're following the road down Warren Hill. We will be turning right in a moment. It's still 40 miles an hour along here, so look out for those changes of speed. We're looking to turn right in here.
I often find that on this, when it's busy as well, the oncoming traffic does slow down and flash
Yes.
to let you go. So just make sure that if that is the case, you've assessed that it's safe to turn in.
And you've got the car fully prepared at all
Yes.
times, so you can move off. See the student here, I think they actually stalled on this one here. Then they hesitated.
Oh.
So you can see what can happen there. If the car wasn't prepared to go.
Yeah.
Now, at this moment, it would probably be just a driver error for stalling. See the car behind's waiting to turn in. There's another van behind them now. I think they could have taken that.
I would agree.
So I started marking them down at this point on their test. So, okay, they held up traffic a little bit. It wasn't that long. But as an examiner, my alarm bells are going, okay,
Yeah.
are they going to make progress? Are they going to move off?
Interestingly, an examiner said to me the other day that when he's marking hesitation situations like that, it's whether they should have gone or whether they could have gone. So if they could have gone, it's a driving fault, but if they should have gone...
Well, that's a really good way of talking about it, isn't it? Because what you're doing, you're unnecessarily holding up the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Now, if you come down this road, this is called Gypsy Lane. If you haven't done your front manoeuvre there where we did, I'll probably be asking the student just around this corner here to pull over the right-hand side and do the right reverse. So it's a little bit of... it's nice. It's only 30 miles an hour. It looks like a country lane. Be careful. It's quite wide as well. So he would have done a pull over on the right just back there. And we're following the road all the way to the end, and we're going to be turning left. Now, some of the routes you turn right here.
Another tricky
You've got to
one.
be really careful. And you've got a slip road there, so make sure you look left and right and do check what's in front of you as well.
Yeah. And don't rush again.
No, the gap comes to you. Don't take a gap that doesn't exist. Especially if you stall the first time or miss one. Just draw a line under it, move on. You can't undo history. So, following the road down. Now, occasionally, they ask to turn right down here to do a parallel part and the emergency stop down that road. And there's also a good opportunity for a very hilly hill start down there. Now, we're coming down to this double roundabout. And this is one of these sort of roundabouts of myth that students set up as, oh my gosh, the double roundabout.
It's put a bit on a pedestal, isn't it?
Yeah. They're coming this way. There's 3 lanes to choose. A left, a middle, and a right. So very simply, left is for left, middle is for up the hill, and right is towards the station.
That's it.
I've told my student to carry on second exit and first exit. So it's the middle lane, and effectively...
Make sure you stay in the markings.
That's why they've put paint down, isn't it? So keep on the left and keep in the marking, and it's essentially just left lane all the way around. There's no signalling at this point. But because I'm turning left, and the arrow says left there, left signal, check across to the right, of course, and move forward. Now, just a point to note about these pedestrian crossings, they change very quickly.
Yes, and you can, if you've got that tunnel vision, you look straight past the light up to the top of the hill.
Or if you're rushing, you don't have time to stop and react. Now, we're coming up here. Sat-nav says turn right and turn left, I believe. But the examiner should jump over and go, no, just follow the road around to the right, to the left. So
Any 90-degree turns, the sat nav thinks it's a turning.
Right, no. So we're coming up here, and we're actually doing quite a nasty little one. We're turning right onto Headlands here. This is Sheep Street. We're turning right, and you've got to come quite slowly and really get yourself into that slip road. If you do it late and your backs of the car is stuck out and you stop the flow, that could be a serious fault because you've stopped the flow of traffic. So just waiting for the opportunity. You'll probably find, because there's traffic lights just around the corner up there, it'll be car, wait for the phase in, and you have a nice big gap. So again, don't worry if there's cars coming one after another, it's just been caused by the traffic lights. So this is Headlands, and this is an opportunity of showing our meeting and passing skills if cars are coming the other way.
Yeah, definitely around all these type of Victorian roads, take your time.
20 is plenty.
Absolutely.
Absolutely no more than that. You're not showing how much progress you can make. You're showing your observation skills, your anticipation, your planning.
Yeah.
For instance, this van's reversing here. I'm just going to be holding back until it's clear to go. Yep, they've got a line of sight there.
And your clearance on these roads as well, making sure you're not getting too close to those parked cars.
Ideally a door width, in case that's what's going to have a door could fling open. So we're going to be turning left in here. This is really tight. It's quite hard to see what you're turning into. So we slide right down here, probably into first gear just around this corner, and assess before you move on. Tricky this one. Is it wide enough for two cars? Is it not wide enough for two cars?
Isn't
What's
it?
the vehicle? How greedy have they been with their
Exactly.
space? So the only thing you can do is have time to assess, and the only way you're going to give yourself time is don't rush, particularly at this zebra crossing. See where that blue car is on the right?
Right by a school as well.
Right by a school, really restricted there. So we just work our way down. This is not the time to show how fast you can drive and make progress. This is a time for being really careful and planning your route through here.
And remember, if in doubt, don't go.
If in doubt, do nout.
Yes.
Don't go until you 100% know. Got any more rhymes? Maybe not. So end of the road here. We're turning left.
Sometimes there's the parked cars on the right that really restricts your view on this
there's
one.
a fan's pulled in just to pop into the newsagents there,
Yeah.
and it's really sometimes you need to hold back to get a view before coming in. So as you're coming in, you might actually want to hold back 2 or 3 lines so you get a line behind the vehicle that's obstructing the road. Now we're going down there, and we're going to be turning right, following the signs to Corby and Stamford, or the sat nav would still be showing you to turn right at this stage, depending on route, because this route can be used in both ways. So we've got a box junction here. What's the rules of the box junction when it goes to...
So when you're turning right, you may wait at your point of turn if the only thing stopping you from going is the oncoming traffic.
Yes.
So your road that you're turning into is clear. You're just waiting for an opportunity in a break of the traffic.
So you can,
go on.
so you can see that red car there held back because you're going straight on.
Exactly.
If you're turning right, he'd need to wait in the box. So it's a bit of a quirk of the rules there, isn't it, really? So really, if you're turning right, a box...
His road wasn't clear.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But even though he would have done exactly the same thing if he'd been turning right. So in the actual fact, it's kind of real technical... In that situation, it's quite a technical rule. So you got to know your rules.
Yeah.
And that is rule number 174 if you want to look up the box junction rule in a bit of detail. So this is St Mary's Road. And again... What is tricky about this one is keeping down to 30. It's downhill. It doesn't look very downhill on the video, but it's wide, it's downhill, and 30 miles an hour does not feel very fast at all. The car's coming in from the left. So just now you might be asked to pull over the left-hand side here by these red trees, which is a really tricky move off. First of all, it's a hill, and secondly, you've got junctions on the right. So that lifesaver blind spot check is absolutely essential there. Now we're going to be turning right at this mini roundabout, and the thing about it, it's quite an angle, so you need to start looking nice and early.
And also as well, I don't know if you find on this one, when traffic's coming from the right, if they're signalling into the left, it's still not safe to take it because the traffic behind can continue to go ahead. It does split into 2 lanes.
Yes, it does, and you find cars on the left will go straight across.
Yeah.
So you can't, and again, if you absolutely don't know, you don't go.
No.
Now we're following the road down here, and we're going to be following the road ahead. There's 2 exits off this roundabout. Look with the arrows, look at the sign there, it's the right hand side. Normally, if you think follow the road ahead, you default to the left, but logically 2 lanes there, one left for going left, the right hand lane for going forwards, and because it's not orthodox, they just put a bit of paint down and a board just to help you along your way there.
Well, the board is tiny, it's very easy to miss, but
And it's one of those things, I was only in the wrong lane, but your fault would be failure to respond to road markings. Now, if you failed to respond to a road marking, it could have been something serious like a no entry sign. So the fact is you're not picking up on information that's given to you is the fault in itself. Yeah, so there we go. Flashing amber means you can go, of course, if the crossing is clear. We're just following the road down here. This is Windmill Avenue. So what you can do if you do live in Kettering here, you can follow the route. I've put the road marking names up in the top left corner as you've seen. And we'll carry on through here. Nothing too technical here. You've got Kettering College on the right, so it can be busy at certain times of the day. End of the road, turn left. Just be careful on this one. Don't put a signal on too early because look, you've got a left junction there. I'll be looking now to put that left indicator on.
And be careful because even though it's a filter light, you are still approaching the give way.
Yes.
As you come through this
It's only
light, so check across to the right.
As far as this, you still need to check right, even though it's a signal, a traffic light green. There's nothing stopping anyone jumping a red light. You've got to be checking your observations to the right. Now, this is really quite strange, this road. This is Wicksteed Park Road. And I think it's called Barton Road, I believe. And for some reason, it suddenly goes to 40 here. And it goes to 40, near Wicksteed entrance, and they say slow for the corner. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's really strange. So go to 40 and put slow in the red.
Slow down.
So it's still 40 at this stage. These lights can change quite quickly. And this is really quite hilly here. So it's a lovely opportunity to show off your clutch control and do a hill start. Coming up here, and it goes back to 30 at the top of the hill. So making sure, of course, any change of speed, you're checking your mirrors both centre and right to make sure you know it's safe to slow down. So there's your 30. Remember, at this stage, we're following the road ahead unless road markings, signs tell you otherwise. See the road markings? It says follow on. So did the board. Right-hand lane. Follow it on through here. The lights normally face themselves quite nicely through here.
Yeah.
Now, this is a tricky bit of a run back now. We're going back to junction 10. And
yeah, this catches quite a few people out on this bit.
Yeah, not this bit here so much.
The junction 10.
We've got to follow the road ahead, so we're taking the right-hand lane. It's to do...
I know, that's what I just
Lorry
thought.
going very swiftly, doesn't it?
That caught my attention.
So, actually, when I'm on the back of the queue, I always look at my rear view mirror. And because I stop short about 2 or 3 metres, if a lorry comes in, I can suddenly move forward a metre if I had to. And that has saved me before at traffic lights when I've been teaching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. A bit more acceptable distance this time. So, following the road ahead. Now, we're coming down to a roundabout, and it's going to be second exit, follow the road ahead. The examiner will say, take the right, is follow the road ahead, take the right-hand lane because we will be taking a third exit right at the bigger roundabout straight afterwards.
Make sure you stay in lane.
Yeah, it's got paint, pick a lane, stay in your lane. So you can see it's second exit, follow the road. So effectively, it's like a bend that goes around the roundabout. So we come across the right-hand side. I'm not signalling at this stage. In fact, I'm just going around here.
So I think a lot of people's at this point attempted to signal left and come across.
Come across. No, but you just stay in this right-hand lane because we're taking the third exit right. This is quite a tricky little roundabout. It's a big roundabout. Right-hand lane, the paint markings are quite poor.
Yeah, they're awful.
And we're coming round. We need to spiral out. That's the first exit. That is not an exit there. Straight ahead, second exit there. Now look, we need to spiral over to the left-hand side, not the right-hand side there. So we're coming down there. No need to signal off the access traffic lights. It's not really benefiting you. And we're back onto the A14, going back to the test centre.
Because this slip road is so wide, quite often students think that it's a separate lane.
Yeah. But you need to hog that right-hand lane because you're coming across to the right. Why would you want to be on the left-hand side? Not far to go. You can see it's already been told you're coming off here. And that was junction 10. We're heading down to junction 9. And we're going to be coming off here. And the last bit of the last 5 minutes of the driving test.
It's quite busy when you join that slip road. So I think following distance is always something that I need to mention at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming in here on the left. Now, the thing about this one is you can take the fourth exit right with an instruction in either the left lane or the right lane. So there's pros and cons to both.
I think for me personally, the left lane feels too dangerous.
Because cars can come round. Now, if you've got a student that doesn't go around very quickly, you can be really caught out. My advice is take the shortest one, make progress. So here, as a default, you're absolutely right. We come across to the right-hand side because it's a lot easier to merge to the left. And if you can't, just go around the roundabout again.
Exactly.
So you can see if you're going around the outside on the left, you've got cars that could come across to Wellingborough, which is the first exit.
And they pick up a lot of speed along this long side of the roundabout.
Because they're not really that round, they're oval, and because it's stretching across the A14. So a nice exit there. Now, cars could, of course, be coming across into the Pytchley one. So if you're on the left-hand side, you've got to have confidence, commit and go. Now, as it was, look what that vehicle was at the time as well. That could have been a bit of a pickle. So there we go. So this is the fourth exit coming up. Don't mistake the no entry, of course. And indicating off. And we're just going to go straight back to the test centre. As a preference, we want the near side, which means the left-hand side. Good observations needed. Maybe even a blind spot check over your shoulder there before you come across. You see there was a car down there. It wasn't safe for us to come across.
Make sure
so it's perfectly fine to go second lane to second lane. Those cars passed. And let's see what happens here. A lot of the cars in the inside. See, we didn't come across till the last minute. There was no. Don't panic. If you can't go all the way around the roundabout. Go all the way around it and turn it off.
Back to your exit,
Or come across left if it's safe to do so. So second exit, here we go. Back to Orion Way. And very simply now, we came out this way. We're going back that way. Second exit, keeping over nicely to the left. Back to the test centre we go. So on that test there, I think I gave a mark for hesitation there. And that's pretty much the only fault we had.
Yeah, the stall and the... Yeah,
so it's two faults. Yeah, the stall and the hesitation there.
Yeah.
All in one junction. 2 minor faults. So there we go. I hope you found that really useful. And do like and subscribe to our channel because we're putting new material on every week. Lessons, mock tests, manoeuvres, how to cope with test day nerves, how to prepare for test. So
thank you for watching and come back for more.
And like and subscribe and press that notification bell for more videos.